Scene one, take one, A-Mark without a mask.
Oh my gosh!
Scene one,
We
take one,
vaccinated,
B-Mark
girls.
without a mask.
Vaccinated girl.
Aw, you look cute. I look weird.
I wasn't even looking at you.
No, I'm not even talking about you. It's me and Chris. Something happened to my face. Like, who is she? Why? Is that a toad? It's a toad, right?
I'm having like heart palpitations because I just chugged so much coffee.
Oh, God. That means we're already going to be off the rails.
All right. Hello, you guys, and welcome to another episode of The Sip. I'm Ryland Adams, of course, joined by
Lizzie Gordon.
Elizabeth Gordon.
I do love when you call me Elizabeth.
You used to say that I was doxing you for calling you Elizabeth, and now you're okay with
Well,
it.
you can call me Elizabeth. Just don't drop my legal last name.
Gordon.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm sure people can find. What's the problem with your real last name? What do you think they're gonna find?
Incognites, bitch.
It can't be seen. In case you want to live, is that
I
your
have a
thing?
private life.
Like,
I'm so famous. I need some time to myself where my audience isn't like breaking the fourth wall to come and discuss things with me.
I'm just thinking, like, if I ever want to just work a normal job, I could drop the Ryland, go back to Ryan, and everything's cool. We're just like, I go back to whatever it was I was doing before.
You're just
event
Ryan
planning.
now.
I was going to be an event planner. I think I'd be very good at it.
Why won't you plan my wedding then, you son of a bitch?
Well, right now I'm busy.
I've dropped hints and asked directly multiple times.
I know better than to overcommit to anything.
I don't need much.
I'm good at saying no.
Yeah, you are.
I'm good at saying no. Today we hyped ourselves up by listening to Olivia Rodrigo because she's officially gone mainstream in my opinion.
Girl, she's been mainstream.
Do you think she's been mainstream since she was on the Disney Channel, or now that she has?
She's been on the Billboard Top 100, Top 10 with 2 songs for like a minute and a half.
And here's what I was thinking. Okay, so she had her first song that took me a while. I came around and now I'm fully here for.
Yeah.
And then Deja Vu came out and
Both of us missed that train. We were like, oh, she has a second song. And then I Google it this weekend. I'm like, oh my God.
It's really good.
It's really good. And then here's what I think is really important to notate. Have we ever truly gotten over heartbreak if we didn't have Olivia Rodrigo while we were going through it?
You mean us as in our angsty teen years?
Yeah, like I don't think I truly got over any relationship I ever had previously because I didn't have Olivia Rodrigo to identify with and scream sing with.
So
I
now-
get chills when I listen to her music as if I'm not 31 and 15 years past my last toxic relationship. I'm like, it's yesterday. Fuck them.
Your past trauma has suddenly cleared up because you're addressing your baggage because of Olivia Rodrigo's
Yeah.
new music. Well, here's my thing. So I was thinking, like, I really do like Deja Vu. And even it was playing on, I was listening to Pandora last night. Don't ask me why. And it came on. And I was like, man, I hate that I love Olivia Rodrigo.
Why do you hate
Well,
it?
just because, like,
We love Taylor Swift. Of course we're going to love Olivia.
you're right. And now they're BFFs too. But here's my thing.
God, which
I
am jealous of.
Deja Vu is very tonally the same as Driver's License. So they were like, we had a major hit. We're going to try to duplicate. And
I don't think so.
Well, it's in the same lane. Just let me have this for a second. Let me
Okay.
go on a little road. It's in the same genre. And I was like, okay, so she has this thing. Is she going to outbreak this thing? And then Good For You, which I slept on for a second. I didn't even know it was out.
Yeah.
And I did this thing where I was listening to Pandora and I was like, oh, what's this song? I got to add it to a playlist. And of course, it was Olivia Rodrigo, Good For You. And then I looked and she was on SNL already. She already has a music video for it. And so here she is. I think she's going to stay. She's around to just blow our minds.
Mm-hmm.
And then we pumped ourselves up to Good For You this morning. I do think it sounds like Paramore, but I also am a little bit jealous of her the same way I'm jealous of a Kylie Jenner, you know, like.
Well, I think that's insane.
Why?
Because she's like of the people, by the people, for the people. Like Olivia Rodrigo is like doing this with us. You know what I mean? Like
From
she's
the
like
Disney Channel to With Us.
Yeah, I honestly feel like Olivia's like sharing her heart and soul with us so that we can go through the shit with her. That's why Driver's License hits so hard because people identify with it. Like that's literally a feeling that every
Well,
single
let's see.
person has gone through.
Let's
like,
see if your audience, the 30-year-olds like us out there, identify with us in liking Olivia Rodrigo. And
the
we have to
TikToks I've
it's-
seen have been like 40-year-olds who are like hipsters with like androgynous haircuts sipping
Can we
fancy
go an
lattes.
episode without TikTok?
No.
I don't want to hear about it.
25-minute boring statement about Olivia Rodrigo that had nothing to do with fucking anything. You can hear me out about my TikTok. Jesus Christ. You had a 45-minute monologue that just rounded about to say like Olivia Rodrigo's here to stay. Like, no shit, bitch. We've been known. And if you were on TikTok, you'd fucking know that. I'm hot in the face. I'm hot. I'm sorry I came at you.
Can we even go on from that?
Let's just look at this humpback whale for a minute and like recenter ourselves.
We left the TV on after Olivia, and now we've got just
It
in
might
the
be
background.
good. It feels like a good vibe to follow.
My
with the-
camera's not working. What the fuck is this? What kind of production are we running?
Is your memory full?
No.
This might
it's
be
just
because you have
black.
like an iPhone 7 from 2003.
Wow, now we're taking personal digs. How could it get more personal
I'm honestly
than
just
this?
shocked that your thing still works.
So I had a great birthday.
Oh, how was your birthday?
My whole family's currently here. They're going to come on and grace the show later. I have a fun little conversational game planned. I have a hot seat that they were going to switch in and out of, and I think it's going to be really fun. But
Yeah,
we've been
I have anxiety about that already.
We've been nonstop touring Los Angeles. For the first time in 11 years, I graced the Dodgers Stadium.
You've been gracing everything, apparently.
What do you mean?
You just used the word grace like 17 times.
Okay, do you like anything about me today?
I like your outfit and your Crocs and your socks.
You chose my outfit. I've been doing this thing recently where I come down like naked from the shower holding 15 different items of clothing, and I'm like, which do you think works?
I mean, we have to talk about some very important things like your legs and how fucking strong and sexy they've been looking lately. Because I'm not the only one who's thinking it. So I'm not just doing some weird, creepy love lens thing. Your legs look good, daddy. And then another thing is like, you were like tan and glowing. Like people are asking, is it a fake tan? Has he been in the outside world? Like, what's up? You're thriving. From the inside out, you glow.
I've just been on some good, happy life. I've just
love
been
that.
like out living, like with coronavirus kind of opening back up. I'm going to do a few more things, and I'm just like feeling like my life has been well-rounded as of late.
Yeah.
We went to the Dodgers game. I ate a lot of food. You turned me into a beer boy.
How?
Add beer boy to my resume along with the Lemon Queen, because when we went to Big Bear, we were at a brewery. I started drinking beer,
Right.
and now every time I've been out, I've been drinking beer instead of wine. I've switched
I don't think you
for
can
the
blame
summer.
me for that. I'm like a Diet Coke girl. Like if you were all of a sudden were like, I need a Diet Coke with a lime.
Well, everyone at your birthday was drinking beer out there, so I just
I
started
blame
drinking
them.
beer. And
you can blame my audience.
now I'm a beer boy.
I love that.
We went to a restaurant for my birthday in the middle of nowhere. It was gorgeous and everything I could have ever dreamed of, and I just got spoiled, and it was lovely and wonderful, and Morgan got me a surfboard, so I'm ready to live.
I love that. What were you eating with 2 forks? I saw on Morgan's story that you were pushing around something on your plate with 2 forks.
So that was after 2 spicy margaritas.
Oh,
and they
so
all
you're a
just
spicy margarita boy too.
Yeah. And oh yeah, well, yeah, for my birthday I went hard liquor.
I love that for
and
you.
So they all looked over at me, and just like naturally I was using my fork that I was eating with, but I was making sure I was getting the full amount of food that I could on the fork with the
another-
other
yeah.
fork, not even consciously doing it. And then they were all just laughing at how I was interacting with the world.
Well, fuck the haters. That's a totally brilliant way to do it.
Yeah. So if you don't use 2 forks, I don't even know who you are.
I don't even want to sit with you.
Yeah. Screw the knife.
Yeah,
2
fuck
forks.
the knife. The knife's hard to hold. And the fork, if you think about it, is perfectly curved to shove the shit onto the other fork and shovel it into your
Right.
face hole.
What's going on with you in your engaged girl world? You're about to get married.
I've started having nightmares.
Started.
Yeah, I've started having gnarly wedding nightmares. Like I'll have the first nightmare I had to kick it off was my makeup artist didn't show up. So I just had to walk down the aisle with no fucking makeup.
You're getting better at your makeup.
Right, but you don't want to walk down the aisle at your wedding with no makeup unless you're fucking Alicia Keys.
Well, you know what? I was watching some other wedding videos and thinking that the brides were too caked on. Like it was
I'm not talking about not caking it on. I'm talking about no fucking makeup. You can see all of my broken blood vessels in my face. You can see the dark circles under my eyes. It's my fucking wedding day.
And I
don't even have tinted moisturizer on. And my hair's not done. It's a fucking nightmare, Ryland.
I'm just giving you a warning. I'm giving you a warning on the opposite end of the spectrum.
I'll never go that far.
To not overcake it, because you don't want to be unrecognizable. I don't
No,
want
I
to see
wanna
your
look
wedding
like
photos
me.
and be like, do I know that girl?
Yeah, no, I want to look like me.
Yeah, so you're going to do a test run.
Yeah, we're doing a test the night before. So that was the first nightmare. Second nightmare was I had asked my friend Monty, who's a gaffer, which means they're the person on set that puts lights up and decides the lighting
I
design.
love how your wedding is a production. It's like...
It is. But it's like I jokingly asked Monty if he wanted to gaff my wedding, but I wasn't going to pay him because I'm a, cheap bitch. So my other nightmare was that Monty had just taken a bunch of LED light strips and fucking stapled them to my body to make sure that I was lit the entire time. So I had staples in my armpits and up my arms, and the guests had staples all over their arms with LED LED light tape all over them, but mine wouldn't turn on. So they were like broken. So that was an insane nightmare. I had another nightmare that my husband at the reception, I didn't see him the entire reception. I was like, where the fuck is this guy? Like, I just married him. Like, where is he? And then by the end of the nightmare, my husband reveals himself. It's my dirtbag fucking high school boyfriend, and I married the wrong guy. And it's too late. Like, what are these nightmares?
And how frequently are these happening? Like once
All
every...
the time. That's like 5. That's like at
Wow.
least twice a week since this started happening. And oh my God, I have to share this. I went to get my wedding dress altered because everybody, I guess, has to do that because the wedding industry is like, fuck you. If you're a regular size, we're still going to make you work on this shit and spend more money.
Right.
So I go to this place and the woman straight up tells me that all the photos of the brides in her salon are from failed marriages because she has a deal with a photographer who sends her the prints if the marriage doesn't last as long as it takes for the prints to be developed and made for the couple. So he gives her a break on them to decorate her salon.
So these couples don't even last for a month.
No.
What?
I was like, why did you tell me that?
I
was
wonder
like,
if
I don't really
something...
want to get. I was like, started getting faint. And I was like, does that mean like my wedding's gonna fail, or is it like not the salon, but it's the photographer? So if I hired that photographer, my wedding would fail. Like,
Well, I'm wondering if there probably is some panic that sets in once you're officially married, being that like every minor problem that you've ever maybe had with your, I'm not saying you specifically, but every minor problem you have with your partner once you're married, you're like, oh, is this going to escalate into something I can't manage? And then you like self-sabotage and blow up your relationship.
yeah, that sounds like
Everyone.
I'm on that path. Just kidding.
Okay. Do you have something else for us? I'm trying to read your insane notes. They're so messy.
Well, there's a note. There's one insane note, you crazy person. And the one note says, I only realized this because we were going to be talking about wedding stuff.
I have to shit so bad.
I was going to celebrate that this is the 1-year anniversary of me becoming an ordained reverend.
Oh, for who? Who did you get ordained for?
I just wanted to see how easy it was, and it's very easy.
So you haven't even ordained a wedding?
No, but I could marry myself if I wanted to, because I'm an independent woman.
Is that something you can do?
I mean, I don't know. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want at my wedding, so. See, there's my certificate.
All right, let's break for an ad. Today's episode is sponsored by Daily Harvest, who I love so much. Daily Harvest delivers delicious food, all built on organic fruits and vegetables right to your door. It literally takes minutes to prepare, and I never have to think twice if the food I'm eating is good for me. Now, I've talked about them before because you know I don't often have the time or energy to make a home-cooked meal, and I honestly don't feel great about ordering out super frequently. So Daily Harvest has changed my meal game forever. The best thing about Daily Harvest is it's ready whenever you are. Everything stays fresh in your freezer until you're ready to enjoy it, so you waste less food as well. No need to overthink any of your meals for the week with Daily Harvest. They have smoothies for breakfast, delicious crisp flatbreads for lunch or dinner, and perfect food for cooler weather like their perfectly roasted harvest bowls and soups. Daily Harvest never uses preservatives, added sugar, or anything artificial, including their recently launched almond milk, which is made of only almonds and a dash of sea salt. That's it. Daily Harvest is undeniably delicious, clean food without the prep. Get started today by going to dailyharvest.com and enter promo code THESIP to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code THESIP for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com.
Right now, there's this crazy fad going around where everybody, specifically Priuses, are being targeted for their catalytic converters because they're like $2,000 to $5,000 to replace, depending on the year and make of your car or the year of your car or something. And a couple nights ago, my neighbor calls me at like 11 o'clock at night, and I don't answer the phone after 10. And I'm a curmudgeon-y bitch who definitely doesn't answer if it's my neighbor's calling. And I checked the voicemail the next day. Someone tried to steal my catalytic converter, and my neighbor, who I'm a bitch to, saved my car.
And you ignored the call?
Who I ignored the call. He like shooed some guy away who was trying to steal my catalytic converter. Like the light was turned on in my car. Like the guy was fully trying to break into it. And my neighbor, like a good Samaritan, was like, shoo, fuck off. Like, no.
So he came out and saved it.
He came out and saved it.
Wow.
And then the same guy hit our neighbors across the street and took their catalytic converter instead.
So is there something...
Which, by the way, fuck them, because they don't say hi to us us when we say hi to them in public. So this seems like a real karma situation.
What did you do to them?
We did nothing. That's what's so crazy. And they have this insane like party at their house once a year where they have like a DJ and it sounds like a great time. They never invite us. Me, Joe, and James will see them out in public. We'll be like, hi. And they literally do this. And when I had a shitty car, they put a note on my car and asked me to stop parking in front of my house. Like, where am I going to park my car? And fuck you, I'm poor. Like, God, what?
So did their Cadillac converter?
Their catalytic,
and
whatever.
What is
I don't know.
Does it charge the battery?
No, it's like a tube or something that goes on your muffler or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a fucking car person. But it makes your car quieter and it has something to do with like emissions or whatever. But if you don't have it, your car is loud as fuck. Like,
and so theirs was successfully stolen.
yeah, and we knew it was them because we heard their car when they turned it on, and Joe was like, oh, and we like ran out front. They were like, our catalytic converter was stolen. And like my neighbor was out there. He's like, I saved yours last night. And we were like, fuck you guys. Like,
how would they're probably going to come back for yours again too, though?
no, they probably will. But I ordered a protective plate to put on my car, which comes in like any day, like couldn't come fast enough. And then part of me is like, should I just remove it myself right now while I wait for the plate and just have a loud ass fucking car and then put it back on with the plate? But I also feel like there's a high demand for these because they keep being stolen. So it's like a cyclical situation where because our catalytic converters are being stolen, there's a higher demand to get new ones to replace them. But we're just buying the stolen ones of our neighbors to replace the ones that were stolen from us. And it's just like, just stop stealing.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Like, please stop stealing. I thought about leaving a note under my car that's like, I'm not that rich. Like, I'm planning a wedding. I have a new baby. My dog has eye cancer. Like, please don't steal my catalytic converter.
Well, speaking of stealing, have you ever heard of the store donation scam? Like, you know, whenever you're shopping at a store, when you're going to check out, they're like, oh, do you want to donate $2, $4, $5, $6,
Yeah.
$10?
Yeah.
Well, I watched a YouTube video, and I'm not saying this is true across the board.
Yeah.
But have you ever thought like, oh, maybe all of this money isn't going to wherever the foundation that it says that it's going to?
Yeah, I also don't love foundations.
Big blanket statement.
I used to work for one, and that was one of my best paying jobs.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, so for the stores, I don't think that the stores are allowed to determine how much of that dollar goes to the actual foundation, and then the store itself gets to write off the donation as a tax write-off for their own business because they're donating your money through their business and it's a tax write-off for them.
Oh yeah, I trust none of it. This is like, if I ever want to give back, I literally will give to a physical person I know in need, or I'll go on GoFundMe and find something where it's like, oh, this group needs help. Like, this person's trying to get this restaurant off the ground. Like, I'll give money to people.
Well, I don't think all foundations are bad. I don't
think all foundations are bad. I just don't have the time to research every foundation. So like, I'll give to Planned Parenthood, but you know, I would rather give to a person.
Right. My takeaway is that instead of just adding $2 or $4 every time at the store, just at the end of the month, find one that you love and have it be your own tax write-off and know where it's going for sure, because it's so... And that is the thing. It's like almost ordering at a fast food restaurant when they're like, do you want to donate? And then you almost are made out to feel like a bad person if you don't donate. But
you know I don't.
You're too, well, yeah, you don't. I did it once. We were shopping at one store and you're like, oh.
And I was like, wow, you do that?
And I was like, yes, they give me it every single time.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I guess you should ask questions being like, do you know how much % your store actually takes of this?
Yeah.
And if it's not a charity, you know, then it's that the store could also be pocketing 50% of that.
I didn't even know that. That's nuts. And I don't do it because like I worked for a not-for-profit foundation and I got fucking 13% of every contribution I signed up after I hit my quota. And I made so much money.
Wow. Yeah.
And then it's like all of this goes to overhead. So like, fuck your foundation. Like if I want to help someone, I'm going to help someone.
See, and I was trying to check the validity of it from store to store. So I went on Reddit and then there were like people that work for stores battling it out, being like some stores, people that work in stores, financial departments saying like, oh, we actually give all of it and then match it as well. And then some others were like, oh, I work for this store and they take 50% and they make it their tax write-off. So it's just like, I guess you don't have to feel bad asking the clerk or the cashier.
But I bet the clerk or the cashier also
has
doesn't
no idea.
know.
Yeah, so don't put it on them.
Yeah, but if you want to be a good person, like, hey, go help a person. Go help a person face to face.
Are you excited?
Esteemable acts create esteem.
Are you excited about the Friends reunion?
I'm, low-key indifferent.
See,
Jelly fucks with friends heavy, though. So she's probably lit on this shit.
your dog.
Yeah, I think Jelly's really funny because she watches so much Friends. So her comedic timing is like...
I just don't know why they couldn't come back for an episode. And I'm hoping that that's what they're going to surprise. It's like an
They are
unscripted.
coming back for an episode.
No, it's a sit down, unscripted with like multiple people who made appearances throughout the series. And so they haven't
Are you
disclosed, but they're saying, yeah, they're very heavily promoting it as an unscripted conversation reunion. But I'm hoping what they're going to hit us with is an episode because like that's what we all really want is them years and years later in those characters hitting us with an episode.
Wow. I mean, you just rocked me with some news. Like, I swear, no part of my, like, why?
I don't know. And they all reportedly got paid $1 million each to do this.
Of course they did. Good for them.
To sit down and essentially do a podcast. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be produced, but it's coming out this month. I am going to sit down and watch it. I do love HBO Max regardless of the outcome.
Max. That's something I pay for.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't actually. That is something I took from someone else also.
Oh my gosh. Well, they sponsor our show sometimes, so
We
thank you
love
very
that,
much.
I think I steal it from Joe, though, so it's all in the family. We're married. It's legal.
Last thing I want to talk about was the MTV Movie Awards because we were playing Monopoly last night and I went to Google News. The MTV Movie Awards happened last night.
I only know about the MTV Movie Awards because Addison Rae made out with some guy because they were delivering the best kiss gift, or what is it called? Award? This is how much I know about
Have they kissed in like a TikTok or something?
It's her and her co-star from He's All That.
Oh.
And so they were doing like every year, they have like the best movie kiss of the year award. So they were doing that presentation or whatever, and they're like, we're not gonna kiss because it's gonna be too hot. And then they like actually kissed, and like I don't think it was too hot. Like I think it was kind of cold and awkward and weird.
Interesting. The only
a hot kiss is Britney and Madonna, but like Addison Rae and this guy, not so hot.
Well, I tried to pick up like, oh, what was hot from the night? So I was like typed in MTV Movie Awards and I hit news, and the only two articles were Addison Rae and then like a star from This Is Us stepping out with his new girlfriend. I was like, those are the only two headlines that came from the MTV Movie Awards. And
did they even really happen?
I don't know. Did they really happen?
Did they really
And are people
happen?
even watching TV anymore? Who knows? I guess they might re-upload all the clips on YouTube, but it's like, I don't know if people are interested in award shows or talk shows conventionally anymore.
I feel like they're also like panning the Golden Globes or something. Like hella people returned their awards to the whoever
because
gives
there's
them.
no diversity on their board of directors or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like having someone who had like 3 Golden Globes straight up was like, take these back, they're trash.
Yeah, I think Tom Cruise did.
Tom Cruise,
a lot
that's
of people.
who I saw.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Tom Cruise.
They're all just. But I don't. It does feel like we're ending the
that's
era
you
of
throwing your Golden Globes
TV.
back.
We're like Ellen's being like all of these shows
Yeah.
coming to an end and none of them getting tons of ratings anymore. It's like, what is anything anymore except for Olivia Rodrigo?
And she's everything, so we don't need anything else.
All right, we'll be right back with my family. I'm rolling too.
I'm rolling also.
On what?
Everything.
Well, maybe get a shot of our audience for now.
1 take 2, A Mark.
Oh, they're awfully cute, these ladies.
Well, there's not one camera pointing at me, so am I just a voice?
1 take 2, B Mark.
Because I don't look cute in these headphones. These look like Beats that I just got in the 6th grade, and I'm out walking around to the bus stop.
Okay,
In my
She's our
Beats.
ghost voice killer now.
so
I can't believe Beats existed when you were in the 6th grade.
wow.
Right?
I can't believe I made it to the 6th grade.
Today, Morgan flexed on me in the kitchen by saying she wasn't born until 97.
I know.
Is that a flex?
Yeah, it was a weird flex, too.
She is a
Lizze was
different
I'm a different
generation
breed.
than us.
I
What,
almost
what are
bought
they
it-
calling you?
Gen Z?
No, it's something different.
Oh,
A zillennial.
Zillennial, that's right.
I saw the vlog. I know generations.
So Austin asked which camera he's supposed to look into.
If you'd like to address my audience,
Uh-huh.
you will look into this camera here. But they can't see you.
Yeah, that's
But
that's,
I'll
that's
let them
cold.
know. Like, if you're looking that way, give me a little flag, and I'll tell them Austin's looking at me right now.
So right now, Austin, my brother, is sitting in what I'm calling the hot seat. We have my grandma, Morgan, and my brother's wife, who TBD if she wants to be in or not. We're going to switch him in and out of the hot seat playing a game of Let's Get Deep.
Ooh,
So
sounds dirty.
How you play is you choose an icebreaker, a deep, and a deeper. And so hopefully we're going to get some good juice on our family. But first I thought we could ask everyone.
I don't like the way it sounds.
yeah. You want what kind of juice?
We're gonna get some deep juice, and the
Whoa.
deeper we go, the juicier it gets.
That makes me think of the new get out of jail free card on in Monopoly.
Oh yeah, insert
If you
clip. It
haven't-
looks like a open caved vagina.
Well,
my
they were all,
God.
no, we're playing Monopoly and they have a new get out of jail free card and they're all looking at it like, what is this thing? What could this possibly be? Is it a vagina? And I'm like, you idiots.
It
It's
looks
somebody
like a
that broke the
vagina.
bars to escape jail.
It looked like some wide flapping lips.
I was gonna say the gay one doesn't get to weigh in on this situation.
I was
know,
the only
right?
one that was right.
Have you ever seen
Right,
a
but you have
vagina?
the least experience with the
Yeah.
hoo-ha.
Well,
Yeah, well.
What? You can ask that. Yeah, I had sex with a girl once. You don't remember that?
No, I do, but you don't actually
you was
always
there?
see
I was
it.
there, I remember. It's
not like
you
they
can't
turned the
fucking
lights
forget
on.
it.
Well, maybe they did.
Today's episode is sponsored by Candid, who we love so much. If you're unhappy with your smile, you no longer have to be. Candid is the clear, comfortable, removable, and practically invisible aligners that help straighten your teeth, and now people get to love their smile. Just like Justin from Atlanta, Georgia, who says, when I was younger, I used to have a gap in the front and on the side of my mouth. I noticed that people would always look at my mouth first, so I was looking for a fix. Candid ended up being the perfect solution for me. You can't stop me from smiling now. There's no comparison. And Candid is here to help all of you as well to straighten your teeth so you can fall in love with your smile too. There's nothing better than being confident with your smile. Your treatment is prescribed and closely monitored by a licensed 7 orthodontist who's an expert in tooth movement. You'll have the same quality care you'd get from an in-office orthodontist from the comfort and convenience of your home, which who likes to leave their
We
home?
love to hear that.
Other companies use general dentists. Candid only works with orthodontists. With Candid, the same orthodontist who creates your plan is with you from start to finish, so you never have to wonder how you're doing. The average Candid treatment is just 6 months, so you'll start seeing results even way before then, and it costs thousands less than traditional braces. I have friends who absolutely hated their traditional braces because
Yeah.
it's just a nightmare, and with Candid, it's so easy to straighten your teeth from home. Become your best you and start straightening your teeth today. Right now, you all can save $75 off Candid starter kit. Go to candidco.com/thesip and use code THESIP. That's candidco.com/thesip and use code THESIP. Take advantage of this limited time offer and save $75 off your starter kit. Okay, so I want everyone that sits in the hot seat to tell us one thing about themselves that they want the world to know. And I have already predetermined Austin's, who's big into Bitcoin. So do you want to tell the world anything about Bitcoin? Because we're heavily fascinated by finance in general, but we know nothing about finance. And then Morgan
Yeah.
and I are lucky enough to have you in our life who mastered in finance. This is no financial, what do they have to say on the podcast?
This is not financial advice.
This is not financial advice.
Let's just put it out there that whenever Austin starts talking about finance, he does not listen.
Oh.
He's like, ooh, do.
I black out. Like nothing is less interesting to me than talking about money. Like it's hard for me to care at all. But right now, like Bitcoin is a big craze. And last week we were praising Elon Musk, but this week he's fucking with a lot of people's livelihoods.
Well, he's been fucking with people's livelihoods. That's why they have the security advisor on his Twitter account, which is fucking
no,
crazy.
they don't. Do they really?
Yeah, because sometimes when he tweets shit about the stock market, shit goes crazy. So they like have a security situation where they're like, we got to talk to you, Elon, before you post some crazy shit because this is our world economy you're fucking with.
Yeah.
So
It's like Trump.
from
Yeah.
hearing
He messes with the markets through Twitter.
and has great influence in doing
does.
so. Like Elon Musk is really fluctuating. Like he'll send out a tweet and Bitcoin will fluctuate among $10,000. But from what I've gathered from you, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, the value of our dollar is going down because more and more money is being printed always. So something like Bitcoin, there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin that will ever exist. So the value will hopefully always get larger and larger. And
See,
it's
you do listen to me.
decentralized.
You
Wait,
do
is
listen
that
to me.
true though?
Did he Google it this morning?
Can we turn the volume down just a little in these headphones?
Okay, here we
I was just
go.
talking to my grandma about how she lost her hearing, and now I do want to come back to this, but it's nice to meet you in person, Lizzie.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too.
Good to be on the show.
We used to talk on FaceTime
Yeah, that's true.
back when
When?
people believed that you and I were lovers.
Yeah.
Years ago, years and years and years.
That was one of the highlights of my life, Morgan.
You and Austin had a fling?
No,
No.
Ryland and I. People thought we might be together, you asshole.
I just said this is the first time I physically met Lizzie.
Okay,
which
so
is great.
tell people-
But I am curious about why you're wearing my present I gave my brother for his 30th
I wanted fun
birthday.
socks too. But don't worry, I'll give
Well, they
them
do
back.
look good. They do
Thank
look
you.
good.
Well, she was
Like,
okay.
it could be.
Let's play the game, and then we can pick up a Bitcoin conversation after, and we can let all the people go if we want to do that. But I think the more people learn about it, the more it becomes something that could be very useful for the general population. So I have bought some.
He's an OG coiner.
And even when Elon's going out, I'm still going in. Okay, icebreaker.
he bought like
What's everything he sounds
$100.
so overtly sexual.
Well, no, because
When Elon pulls out, I'm gonna shove right in.
Elon's just playing with people's emotions.
Elon's preferences are different
All
than
right,
his. So
here we
it makes
go.
sense.
Apparently, he knows
Grimes.
what vaginas look like, though.
Okay, icebreaker.
What's your go-to drunk food?
What is it?
Domino's.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
What kind
drink
of
much during the
Domino's?
week. I mean, but on Friday nights, my wife Stacey and I, we have a few
You get
drinks, and
wild.
it almost always ends up in a situation where we order Domino's.
What's your drunk Domino's order?
It depends.
Oh, he's
you
a
know?
pineapple and hammer.
No, that's my wife. I do like pineapple and ham,
Hawaiian,
but
thank
usually
you.
it's just a combination.
like-
Meat lovers.
You should try pineapple and pepperoni. That shit hits. Yeah.
Grandma's into that.
And she has entered the chat.
What's something that you don't get the hype about? Why? Why I don't get the hype about?
Disneyland.
Oh, do you fuck with Disneyland?
Austin likes
No,
Disneyland.
I love Disneyland.
That would be Morgan's answer.
How do you feel about Olivia Rodrigo?
I don't know who that is.
There we go. And now we're getting to some deep shit.
Who is Olivia Rodrigo?
Oh my God, I'm walking. I'm literally leaving this
What do you
over.
love so much about her?
It's everything.
Yeah?
Driver's license, deja vu, good for you.
Anyone else? Does anybody else have an answer for that?
Still
Something
not
you don't get
clicking.
the hype about. What's your answer, Elizabeth?
Oh God, I don't know. It is a hard question. I will
Morgan?
admit that.
As the ghost voice, I'm going to say this has lost me a few friends, but I do not like Disneyland. It's hot. You have
Yeah.
to stand in line for an hour to go on one ride. The food is $3,000 a
Yeah.
pop. I hate the whole thing.
Right.
Parking.
I mean, I'm gonna pray for you because Disney stands are gonna come.
I get I just hate. I don't like being outside in general.
Well,
so
right.
outside, standing in the heat, in line, surrounded by people, I'm like very introverted.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
it's
just
the
too
happiest
much.
place on earth. So fuck that.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
with you, but I am thinking we should give it a try this summer. We should do it
I've gone
once.
3 times, and every time I've left with a throbbing headache, ready to cry.
Chipotle makes me want to vomit. Even just talking about it or thinking about it, I think it's disgusting. It's like a pregnancy thing for me, even though I'm not pregnant.
Wow, she still got her tattoo.
I do still have
Yuck.
tattoo.
Just kidding.
When was the last time you cried?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hit us with something good.
This is deep.
When Elon started tweeting about Bitcoin.
Oh my gosh, no. I'm not an Elon hater.
Oh, I'm not saying you
I
are.
loved when Elon got on board with Bitcoin. I am a little disappointed that he
Well,
doesn't understand it the way many of us in the Bitcoin community do, but
Right.
I'll get
Austin's
over
having
it.
a Bitcoin breakdown, and I told him he needs a podcast called the Bitcoin Breakdown, where he can either break down what's happening in the world of Bitcoin, or he can film his actual breakdown when Elon starts tweeting about it.
My
Yeah, but-
fiance would watch.
But breakdown's not cool. We want to break out. Not down. We're going up to the
Right,
moon.
right,
Yeah.
right. Why are you crying?
Oh no, I'm not crying. I'm looking for the last time I cried.
No, I know that's what I mean. Like, what makes you cry?
I was looking at my wife to see when the last time I cried was. So actually, I do remember now. After our wedding, we opened the cards that we received for gifts. A few days after, my Aunt Karen and Uncle Ross sent me a photo of my grandmother and grandpa who had just passed away, and also like a few things that belonged to my grandma and grandpa. And they just wrote me a really nice card, and that really hit me in a way that I didn't see coming, just because I would have loved for them to be at my wedding. After my grandpa passed away, my grandmother was able to meet Stacey a few times, and so that was special to me. And in some weird way, I just felt like my grandpa helped me just find Stacey, and I obviously love my wife Stacey. So
That's very sweet.
just all of that together culminated into a good old cry.
That was really beautiful, but do you also want to mention that you saw a ghost of our grandma in your backyard?
I do. After my grandmother passed away, I did feel like she
Was it
was kind of
life-size?
following me around for a while.
Following you around for a little while?
okay,
I
I believe it.
She's
Story.
life size. What do you think ghosts are a different size?
Well, I don't know. I didn't know if it was like the head
a miniature
or the
figure.
like entire
I looked at
figure.
the first thing was it? What size was she?
Well, yeah, I'm curious.
Was she like at her best size, or worse size?
I've never seen a full blown ghost with
Right.
I've never experienced
Okay,
it.
but
Only
didn't
tiny
you get
ones.
like abruptly woken up in the middle of the night?
I did, yeah.
Tell the story.
Through like a shadow and noises. I don't know if you've ever lost somebody that you really, really love. You can feel their presence like around you. And so I didn't see her actual ghost in any way. I just would hear sounds, noises, and I'd have feelings of her presence. It's really hard to explain. I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy or like big on to ghosts or whatever.
But
like
you
you're
felt
all-
in your gut.
Yeah.
Yes, you just feel it.
I get
And so,
that. I get that.
For months, it was a reoccurring deal. But
That's
yeah.
kind of nice.
She ain't never come to
nice.
visit either of us.
All right.
Only Austin.
That's personal, Morgan.
Okay, Grandma, it's your turn to come on to the hot
right.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Austin, for not the financial advice.
Come on in.
Can I put these on your ears? Your
Doesn't
microphone?
ask.
Okay.
All right. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Okay, so you put the mic in front of your mouth like this, and we're going to ask you some deep questions.
Well, first, I have a question. What's your last name?
McAllister.
McAllister.
you have to talk into the mic, Grandma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that.
I've been calling you Nana Adams, but now I'll call you Nana McAllister.
Here, let's have you choose an icebreaker question.
Can she hear in the headphones?
Can you hear us?
Yep. Are you an organ donor? Yes, I am.
It seems like why did Grandma have to get that question? I've been watching videos of people that this might be
Morgan's right. Round of applause for organ donor. Nana McAllister, saving lives.
Not yet.
Not yet, but maybe.
I just feel
I'm
like
an
this
organ
was
donor. I'm also an organ donor.
Why did this card have to go to Grandma? Jeez.
Are you not an organ donor?
No, I'm an organ donor.
Yeah.
Just spooks me out a little bit to think about.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay, let's
it
get
gives my
deep.
life purpose.
I wanted to start a
Another
charity
one?
called Morgan's Organs, but I don't
I
have
got
any
2.
organs. I only have a few to give. So.
Oh my God, but I love that. Or if you wanted to start a black market Etsy where you're just like selling other people's organs.
Okay,
Morgan,
focus
sorry.
on Grandma over
Focusing.
here.
It was just a great business opportunity.
Okay, Grandma, what do you got?
give up breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Why? Lunch.
Why lunch?
Because I feel like I eat breakfast later in the morning. And so that is considered lunch and breakfast.
Someone call it brunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
This woman
Okay.
has had 5 husbands, and you're asking her about lunch.
Well, I don't know. What was your other one in there, Grandma?
Who in your family are you closest to?
Oh,
And that's very hard
yeah.
because you're close to all your family for different reasons, you know. And your mom, Vicky, is one of my favorites.
The other 4 kids are suddenly unsubscribing.
No,
I was gonna guess
but
Morgan.
but for different reasons.
Yeah, and Grandma lives in Mom's house, so
Right.
it's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
All right, let's get deeper, Grandma.
Another.
Anyone you want.
What white lie do you tell most often, and why?
That everyone's your favorite.
I don't know.
No? All right, well, let's go into your 5 marriages then. What's the biggest thing you learned about marriages? After having 5, what do you think's the biggest key to success for a marriage to succeed?
I think you need to communicate with each other and be best friends.
Yeah? Very cute, Grandma.
Okay.
What's your worst breakup story?
My worst breakup story? When they pass away, that's a breakup story is sad. Okay.
Dark.
I remember the last time I cried.
Yeah, me too.
Is it right now for you too?
All right, Grandma, thank you very much.
You okay?
Sorry.
Grandma, what cryptocurrency are you vouching for today?
The what?
Which Bitcoin are you investing in? Crypto.
Which, do you like any of the cryptos?
Are
the
you take-
coins?
Well, she thinks that we were, up until just this week, she thought the whole time we were calling it Big Coin.
Should we start a cryptocurrency called Bitcoin and Nana McAllister is the face?
Austin advised me not to get into it.
Oh, so he is giving financial advice now.
I'm out.
I will speak because he's not on the mic right now. He advised her not to get it because she is perfectly happy with the amount of money that she has. So there's no point in risking it and losing it.
Yeah.
If she's not trying to make a lot of money within the next decade.
Right.
All right, Grandma. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast. Chips.
Okay.
Love you very much.
Love you.
Okay, Morgan, come on in here. Please welcome Morgan to the hot seat. We've got...
With her robin's egg blue nails, those are gorgeous and springy.
Can you hit the applause sound effect?
Oh,
yeah.
you want the applause?
You got to do your entrance.
Oh, here.
Oh,
I should have done this for everyone to come out. And she's here. All right, please welcome Morgan Adams back to the show. She's playing Deep, Deep, and Deeper. Okay, that sounds very sexual. Okay.
finally you hear it. Finally you get that.
Yeah.
All right, Morgan, let's choose an icebreaker. I wonder if there's things that we can figure out about each other.
This feels like the first day at college when they make you stand. And
Oh, that is the worst.
call or text? Well, we all know my answer is text. I will say I've improved my phone call answering.
Can you attest
Great.
to that, Austin?
Only lately because she's buying a house. But before that, I didn't know that she had a phone.
I was gonna say, Morgan
Actually,
never
her
takes
voice.
my calls.
I did take your call that one day.
Yeah.
That's pretty aggressive to just call someone that isn't
yeah.
me.
No,
No,
I
I mean-
actually have found that it's very useful because you can get a plan done a lot quicker.
I always call Ryan.
I'm
Yeah, I mean,
reinventing.
I have no business like going back in. If you're texting whoever else you're in with in the present, you're like alienating yourself from because you're like that, and then you're waiting for them to respond, and it takes you out of the conversation 5 times. Where I could just call you, get it done with, and move forward. So I'm just not a texter. Like text,
That's a hot tip.
yeah. You're probably the only person I text.
I'm trying to cut back on my texting because now I get irritated when I rapid fire text people and they start responding to me. It's the responding to me that's driving me fucking crazy. Like, obviously, I'm not trying to have an actual conversation. I'm just an insane person with no emotional filter. So I'm just hitting you with the first thought and feeling I have. And then when you respond 3 days later, apologizing for not responding to the nothingness I sent you, you're bothering me.
I'm just saying, if you call me, there's like an 85% chance I'll answer, which before it was like 10. Have your room be constantly dark or constantly light. Constantly dark because the sun gives me a headache. The light gives me a headache. Turn the lights off. Whenever I had roommates and they would come in and turn the lights on, I was like, oh my God.
See, I don't like the lights, but I want to fling the second I wake up. All the blinds are going up because you need that sunshine. Or I'm sad. It's the same reason on a cloudy day. I'm a sad boy.
I like that. I open up my curtains to wake up Jelly in the morning.
The dog.
Yeah, she doesn't fully wake up until I pull back the curtains and I go, good morning. It's another beautiful day, rise and shine.
Austin, light or cold or dark?
Dark for me.
Weird.
Have you had any recurring dreams? Oh, recurring dreams about what? Well, I used to have sleep paralysis, like multiple times a week, and it was the same. It was me with my hands tied behind my back in a cave, and the girl standing there in like a dark shadow.
In a
looking at me
cave?
in a cave looking at me, and she'd like tied my hands behind my back and she was just waiting for me. And then you can't have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Yeah, mine's different. Yours actually sounds like Plato's allegory of the cave, though.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying. I haven't had it in a few months, so I used to get it like multiple times a week though.
That's nuts. Does that make you question reality?
No, it makes me question my sanity though.
Cool, yeah, me too. Me too. I'm fine.
Well, while we're here, let's have Lizzie grab one.
Oh, no.
What?
I mean, I don't know how to answer this.
What?
What's your Uber rating?
Oh,
It's low.
Mine's a 4.8.
I mean, I was temporarily booted from the app.
because of your Uber Eats bidoc.
I heard that there's a shortage of Uber drivers right now.
Really?
Because when we came from the airport, it was $100 to Uber 20 minutes to my house and then I was asking the guy, he's like, yeah, how long did you have to wait for an Uber? Because we had to wait 18 minutes for an Uber at the airport. And
my
usually they're
God.
just circulating around.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, all these Uber drivers are boycotting because now Uber is taking 50%
Oh, goddamn them.
instead of, they used to take like 18 or something when it
Yeah.
first became a thing. And now they take 50. And now the gas is so high
They're doing even more. It's like, why do it? You're making no money.
You make nothing.
I kind of always didn't vibe with Uber because I heard that they had not great policies for their employees or their freelancers or whatever they choose to identify them as. So I usually messed with Lyft, but when I became a person who needed food dropped off at their doorstep, I mean, like I changed my morals and practices.
I also went to a gas station last night. Should we mention this?
Oh my God. Hey, Mom.
There was no gas at the gas station.
What?
This is why you need to put it in a plastic bag and keep it in your trunk.
I heard that as a fire hazard, Lizzie, and I am the type of
joking.
person
Don't
that would
do
light
it.
on fire. Yeah, there was only I could only
Vicky.
get 3 gallons.
Wow. Shit, I'm out of gas right now. And I've been
good
like
luck.
laughing at all these people who are out in these streets collecting gasoline, but I'm the type of like panicker who would do that. I should have been doing that.
All right. Deep.
Let's go deeper. What's your biggest pet peeve and why? God, I know I probably have one. And it's like, now that you probably know.
Well, you've just talked about 5 people that text you back when you text them. Seems like a pretty big pet peeve.
I'm a complicated person. What's the biggest pet peeve? I mean, I don't know.
I know mine.
What is it?
When people post before and after pictures, but put the before on the left or the before on the right.
Yes.
Well,
it
because-
should
yes,
be chronological.
They don't want it living in their feed as the first photo.
No, but like
No,
a
she's talking about
collage.
split screen.
Like a split screen. If
Yeah.
they do like a weight loss
Yeah.
or like a
It's
this
very
was me then, this is me
confusing.
now. Why would you?
Because your
It's
eye starts,
chronological. Have you been to first grade?
but
Yeah,
your
how do
eye
books
starts
work?
at the left, and they want you to process that they're good looking before you look at the previous.
No, it just makes sense.
I have a pet peeve for Morgan too. It's if you ask her how her food is more than once. We all went to
I
breakfast
was gonna say
yesterday.
that.
And she's like,
family
you guys have
grown."
gone around the table 5 times asking how good the food is.
That's another one because not that specific, but when people ask questions that they know the answer to, it drives me nuts.
How are we supposed to know that your food was delicious?
Okay, well, no, that was a different situation. We were
If you're
sitting
not
at the
dancing
breakfast
and
table. We went around the circle 5 times, and everyone was like, "Is your food good?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm." And I was like, "I'm gonna count how many times they asked if my food is good." By the 5th time, when someone said, "Is your food good?" I said, "This is enough. Yes, it's good." And why do you care so much? It's not going in your mouth. Like I get the gesture. Do it once.
Well, no, we want to know for when we go back if we're going to try that meal.
Do you need more than one confirmation that the food is good?
To piggyback on this, I hate when I'm at lunch or dinner or something with someone and they're like, "Oh, mine's so good. Here, let me make you a bite. Try it." It's like, I didn't order what you ordered. I saw it on the menu and I decided I didn't fucking want it.
See, on the
The
opposite,
fact
I
that
like
you're
these.
pressuring this into my mouth, doing some straight up airplane shit is too fucking far. I'm a 31-year-old adult. I don't want a bite. I don't even want what you consider the perfect bite.
I'll take a bite.
I'll take a bite. All right, should we fly Mom into this chair?
Yeah. Oh, no. I feel like I've been very aggressive. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine.
No, she's apologized for breakfast yesterday.
And also, if you put a before and after picture with the other one first, it's okay. I forgive you.
All right, come on,
But
Mom.
fuck Disneyland.
I'll give Disneyland another try when it's not so hot outside.
Okay, Mother, welcome
in?
back to the podcast.
If the questions are hard, I'm leaving.
Choose your first card, any card. Thanks for coming.
Well, I wish I would have seen the before things. Do I read it myself?
Yeah,
Oh, icebreaker, window or aisle seat?
on the plane.
Mine's definitely a window. I think everybody knows that. I'm a window girl.
She's a window.
I don't want to talk to anybody on the plane, which is strange for me, but I want to watch out the window the entire time.
But you do always talk to everybody the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't.
You do.
I used to. When I flew for work for one company, I used to talk a lot and then people just did me in.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
hope you're happy, world.
Yeah. This one's no good either.
What is it?
Spend the rest of your life feeling itchy or being tickled, and why?
God, what a nightmare.
Oh man.
I guess tickled because, yeah,
Yeah.
itchy would be bad.
Both are just a death sentence.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
in the world?
Both make me feel so powerless and out of control.
Nobody can live like that.
Yeah,
I had a chronic rash one time that I needed steroids. I always have a chronic
I
rash.
had
One
scabies.
time, I don't know what I'm saying.
I have talked about scabies on the podcast, right?
Yeah. He had
Yeah.
scabies. I've had scabies too.
Oh, no.
What is
oh,
it?
gosh, no.
We finally got a good one.
No, it's
What's your least favorite sex position? I guess we don't need to
I don't want
know.
any of that.
All right, let's pick
I
another
can't
card.
even watch
It's
half
okay,
of Morgan's
Mama Adams,
YouTube
we're
videos
skipping
because
it.
she talks
Okay.
about stuff like that. It's traumatizing.
out, Mom.
No. Not doing that.
What's one thing you're saving up for?
Yeah, what would you want to buy?
I would redo the kitchen.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah, that's an easy one. So,
I do think you have a beautiful kitchen.
I do too.
I've seen it on the internet.
yeah, it's real cherry wood, huh, Morgan?
All right, well,
It's 20 years old, but it's cherry wood, so it
Here you
stays.
go.
Okay.
Shots fired.
Do you have fake cherry wood?
Um,
It's an inside baseball joke.
Gets so triggered about the cherry wood when Mom wants to paint it. He's like, "It's cherry wood, Vicky. We can't paint it."
Well, because they look a little like now, like wood cabinets are a little like 10 years ago, and people are doing like bright white cabinets
Right.
or black cabinets.
Or
and
gray,
so she
or-
wants
yeah.
to paint her wood cabinets, and my dad's so triggered that
But
she
they're
wants to
real
paint
cherry
real
wood.
wood.
yeah, real
yeah.
cherry wood.
God, I
Vicky.
love that about your dad.
Norm Abram would have a heart attack if you painted the cabinets.
I bet nobody listening to this podcast knows who Norm Abram is, including Lizzie, because I didn't know who her
No.
big old favorite
How about
person in the
Ryan?
world
Do you
was.
know who he is?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was a woman.
This one, what's
Nora or Norm?
Norm.
There we go.
Norm.
That's the problem. That makes more sense.
We have Stacey joining the podcast. Austin's wife.
If you could pick one chore to never have to do again, what would it be? Laundry. I hate doing laundry.
She just,
See, I actually like laundry. Mine would be never ever making the bed again.
Damn, I'm with both of you.
Well, changing the sheets, not making the bed.
I've stopped cleaning after I gave you all that shit about changing the sheets. I don't do it anymore.
Oh, so now you're just sleeping in your own filth.
Yeah, you taught me that's okay.
I'm glad you've learned something. See, I like laundry. I'm not mad about it at all.
I'll do it. I'll put it in the washer, then I'll move it to the dryer, and then I'll dry it. And then I'll dry it again.
Yeah.
Dry it again. And I'll take like 2 things out
until
every
I
time.
take it
And
out.
you'll leave it.
Until Austin takes it out.
And then who folds it?
No, and I toss it in the guest room.
We do our own laundry. I do mine. My least
For not
favorite
doing.
chore is the cat box.
Oh God.
Gotta get a litter
Yeah,
robot.
That's the worst.
Do you have a
too.
litter robot?
Yes, it's changed my entire life.
What the fuck is a litter robot?
I'll show you later.
I'm so excited.
All right, my next one. Be reincarnated as a fly or nothing at all. Why? I would be a fly.
Yeah, you could fly. You could literally fly.
And you can go listen to like anything.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be that bad. I mean, they're kind of dirty, but
So you haven't seen Cronenberg's The Fly?
No.
no.
I would watch that before you start manifesting a reincarnation
Well,
of a fly.
it's nothing or a fly.
Yeah,
and at least a
nothing or a
fly,
fly.
you could take on the world.
Watch Cronenberg's The Fly, and you might wish for nothing.
All right, we have deeper.
What was the last fear you overcame? How did you do it? I think quitting my traditional job.
Woo!
We're a big fan of saying F you to the man.
Yeah, so now Stacey has a blog, food blog, stacylives.com, right?
Yes.
Where
now.
she does weekly posts and she does great recipes. I think Morgan and I should attempt to make one because we all know that I can't cook. But if you're looking for hot recipes, that is where it's at. And it is a big step to like say goodbye to everything you've ever known because you like did go to traditional college and had your 9 to 5 and you said, okay, I want to do something that makes me happy, which
Yeah.
is very inspirational.
Yeah, I was really unhappy and it was terrifying to quit and I finally talked myself into it. So
Isn't it good?
So Bitcoin is very confusing and it's taken me years of like going in and out of listening to Austin to kind of understand why I do think that it is a currency in which has a lot of advantages to people. And I feel like its biggest disadvantage is that the average the person with average knowledge on finance, it's hard for them to want to fall down a hole, although it is becoming more popularized. It's still like it takes a while for it to click before you're like, that's something I want to jump on board with. So why do you think Bitcoin is a currency in which other people should get behind?
Well, that's a good point. It is very hard to understand. And when people do start learning what Bitcoin is, they call it the proverbial rabbit hole. Because once you start going down that hole, you just kind of keep pulling back all of these layers of something that's fascinating. And what's so cool about it is that it has a fixed monetary policy, which is very different than our government's monetary policy, where they create new dollars out of out of nothing, essentially. And what happens is that devalues the currency, the US dollar, and that
while prices still go up. So like the money in our bank, the value is going down while prices are going up while salaries are staying the same.
Yeah.
So
it exacerbates the wealth gap for sure, because what happens is, like, over the past year with the coronavirus pandemic, the government has printed north of $5 trillion, which is, I think, almost like they've added, I don't quote me exactly, but it's like 30 to 40% of the total money supply has been created just over the past year to stimulate the economy. And of course, that's not backed by anything like gold like it used to be.
My grandpa calls it funny money.
The US dollar or Bitcoin?
The US dollar.
That's what's funny is prior to the pandemic, it was really hard for people to understand Bitcoin because the US dollar was just the global reserve currency. It still is, of course, but people didn't question the dollar. We trusted it. And now, after coronavirus, even Americans who haven't generally or traditionally had issues with their currency, they're realizing that, wait a minute, the government's just creating more money out of nothing. And what's happening is that's devaluing my purchasing power over time. So you see it through all types of things like milk and gasoline, and lumber is really crazy expensive, and housing prices are going up so much. And the reason for that is there's just new money out of nothing. And so there's more money in the system. And that's by design. The government's trying to stimulate the economy, get people out and consume, spend.
Right.
They want unemployment up, and I mean, more unemployment, more taxes, and that helps. But it does make you wonder, why do we even pay taxes if the government can just print more money?
My house is an autonomous zone. If you're done with taxes, you can move in. We don't do that at my crib.
Until they get audited and they're screwed. But Lizzie did pay her taxes this year. So
don't tell people I fluctuated on that.
Yeah.
My audience needs to know I'm standing strong.
So then why is Bitcoin a solution in your eyes?
Okay, so yeah, let's take Bitcoin instead of the US dollar. So with the US dollar, when the government just creates more money arbitrarily, and it's deceptive by design. I mean, what happens at the Federal Reserve is behind closed doors, and then they release their meeting minutes on a monthly basis, and then they come out and talk about what they talked about. And lately, the stance is we're not even thinking about changing interest rates, which are artificially low. So anyway, when you take a different asset, currency like Bitcoin, that is totally fixed, very, very scarce, there's only 21 million. And when you think of that in terms of like real estate or gold, 21 million isn't very much. There's, I think, 48 million millionaires in the world. And so if every millionaire wanted one, they couldn't even have one. And so that kind of puts into perspective just how scarce of an asset this is. And so at this point, and we won't get too deep into mining because it's I often go into these rabbit holes.
Yeah.
But what happens is new Bitcoin are issued every block, which is 15 minutes. And the amount of new Bitcoin that get issued every 15 minutes gets cut in half every 4 years, ironically, during an election year. During an election year, what politician is going to raise taxes or cut funding?
Right.
It's the exact opposite, which exacerbates the problem of the printing press or the Federal Reserve. And so with Bitcoin issuing fewer and fewer coins over time, the monetary policy is deflationary, whereas the US dollar is inflationary.
Which means less value when there's more in the market. It's like there's more things, they're easier to get, they're worth less money.
Yes.
So with Bitcoin, because there's less to have and there's always going to be less to have, it's a legitimate value source.
Exactly.
Because it can't be created out of nothing willy-nilly because, our president said so.
Exactly. Yeah, and so it's really empowering for people across the entire world. And so I often say, I do say it democratizes money worldwide because you're enabling people, regardless of where they live, to have access to an asset that preserves its purchasing power through time. Whereas if you just hold your money in dollars right now, your ability to buy things diminishes over time. Back in the day when money was more sound, when the government didn't just print so much, we were able to work normal jobs and afford things like houses, and we were able to afford things like cars.
I mean, even as early as as recently as the 60s, you could buy a house for $11,000 because it was based on a standard of wealth that was scarce and real.
Well,
yeah.
Right now, most people, even like if you're working even if you have a good job and a good salary job, it's almost still impossible to purchase a house with today's value of $1.
Yeah. And because it just keeps going up because we just keep printing more, which means if we want to have the same sort of level value, we have to say this is more expensive than it was last year, even though it's essentially the same price. It's just the worth of what we're using to pay the price has gone down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is, although the government's intentions are obviously good, they want to stimulate the economy because the pandemic locked everything down for obvious reasons. What happens is people with real money don't want to hold their money in cash anymore because they won't be able to buy as much next year as they can this year.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they move it into assets that will go up with the price of inflation,
Right.
like houses and
property.
stocks, and that's the issue that's at hand right now is people who are wealthy are getting wealthier, and people who aren't wealthy or just
Are still
making it on a
struggling.
month-to-month basis, their cost of living is going up, but their salaries really aren't keeping up. And so
And it's like even for people who are starting to build wealth, if you're just holding your money in a bank account, it's actually depreciating. So in the past, like even when I was a little girl, I remember that when you opened a bank account, you were paid a certain amount of money for putting your financial wealth into this institution by way of like investing in a bank in and of itself. And so they would reward you.
And now people
now it's the
don't want
opposite.
to hold. Yeah.
Now they charge you a fucking fee to hold your money.
no, I can go on and on, but that's a whole nother use case for Bitcoin is you don't need a bank anymore.
Yeah.
So
And what's weird, I just want to hit on this one point real fast because it's fascinating. If we all go to the bank right now and want our money back, we can't get it.
No.
Because there's not enough actual printed in circulation.
Right, but when you have Bitcoin, if you decide to hold your own Bitcoin, you're your own bank. And Lizzie and I can exchange money peer-to-peer without an intermediary bank.
Taking more of our money from us.
Exactly.
Which also makes me feel like, fuck you.
Right.
Like, I don't fucking know you.
Oh, get this. So my wife and I were buying a house right now, which is really exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I hope it works out. There's volatility in Bitcoin, so,
Elon's screwing with things right now.
I mean, I kind of get why he would say that they were swapping the Tesla, like buying for Tesla Bitcoin, because it does make Tesla sort of one of those things that's only attainable for a certain class of person, which is
It's
not
not
really
only, you just can also purchase Tesla with Bitcoin.
Exactly. But I mean, I get that he would want to open up the playing field for other versions of cryptocurrency because Bitcoin is now sort of an elusive situation and becomes a class determinant.
He's saying that you can no longer, and it's because of the environmental impact of mining Bitcoin.
Wait, hold on. I got to call
Oh.
time out real quick. We'll come right back to this. Don't forget where we are. But back to the house thing just really fast. So I had to put a down payment on the house. It's a new house that we're building. And to get qualified for financing so that we could have a mortgage to afford the house that we want, the lender said that we can't use the money from our Bitcoin to pay for the down payment on the house, which was wild to me. I'm like, really?
And that's the problem. The government's going to start stepping in and making it harder for you to access or use your Bitcoin because
aren't
it's
they
messing
also
with their
investing in it?
system.
The government?
I heard that there was some version of the government that was acknowledging cryptocurrency and like buying a piece of it or something.
Yeah, there are some governments who have started buying in. Right at this phase, which is surprising, a lot of institutions, corporations are buying Bitcoin. They're moving their cash on their balance sheet over to Bitcoin because they think the same thing that I'm saying. I mean, they're going to lose their purchasing power over time. So if they can't reinvest it in their business and get a reasonable return, they don't want to hold it in dollars because they'll lose the value of it.
Right.
So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. You have to sell your Bitcoin and then season it, which means hold it in a bank account for 3 months, and then the lender will accept it for a down payment. But it's really weird, all of this legacy financial regulation where you're just like,
I mean, it's definitely interesting that we'll bail out the banks when there's an alternative that doesn't require bailing out because it's sort of like a living, breathing entity that's like a self-sustaining ecosystem of an economy. But we're going to like raise taxes and pay these people who have billions of fucking dollars who fucked themselves by fucking us.
Right.
When there's an alternative system that wouldn't be fucking us And so I'm just confused.
Wait, are you a Bitcoiner?
I mean, I'm a psycho. I'm
Preach. I'm loving this.
I'm a maniac. That's
All right.
really the bottom line. I
Yeah.
believe in nothing besides like, don't take my money.
Right, like economic
I was poor for a
empowerment.
really fucking long time. Like when you're eating out of a trash can to sustain yourself, and you finally start making money, and you realize how many motherfuckers are out there who have made so much money for so long that they don't even go to work anymore.
Yeah.
And they're fucking you,
Right.
bending you over and sticking it in raw without even spitting on you first.
It feels like that.
Like, ooh, I'm getting
I
heated.
mean, not that I know, but
I'm like literally have rage hives.
Luckily now, though, if you want to fall down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, there's plenty of outlets to do so. Like when you got into Bitcoin, it was years ago or even 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And when it was only at, like
2017 is when I started. The
And-
beginning.
And back then, he's just like preaching to everyone, like, "Oh, get Bitcoin," and we're like not listening. I was listening to a podcast with Michelle Phan telling everyone to get Bitcoin. They're like, she was like, "Put your money into Bitcoin, and you'll be able to put a down payment on a house." This was like 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't listen to either of them. And now I'm like, "Oh shoot!" But I mean,
You're so
please
cute.
fall down the rabbit hole. Learn for yourself.
This is not
And I
financial
This is not
advice
financial advice.
at
well, that's
all.
what I'm saying. Learn for
Yeah.
yourself.
Right,
If
right.
you
Do
want to
your
fall
own
down the hole,
research.
do it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's plenty of people for and against. Elon's apparently now not super
Well,
into
he
it.
didn't sell it, but
Well, I don't mean necessarily Bitcoin. I'm talking crypto on a general scale. But no matter what, my home is an autonomous zone. If you're done with this shit, like,
It's still something. I mean, I don't even fully understand Bitcoin either myself. Don't take advice from us. I'm just saying now there's resources for you to fall down the hole and decide for yourself. But it's interesting to try to become aware of.
yeah,
yeah, definitely.
I fuck with that. Do you want to talk about skin cancer?
Oh my
Just
god!
kidding.
I
Just
have
kidding.
so many freaking scars.
I just got 2 fresh ones, and I'm getting married in 2 weeks, and I'm pissed.
Well, they literally almost killed him with his skin cancer.
I had stage 3 melanoma on my neck here, and I had to get treatment, and the operation actually had a problem.
Well, the operation, what was where they had the mishap.
Right. Yeah, I had a hematoma, which was just awful, where your blood
Yeah.
vessels break open, and I had this. I mean, my whole neck just swelled up
Yeah.
with blood. But yeah, I mean, I actually had a melanoma here.
Mine was here. Mine was only stage
Look at-
2, though.
Yeah, you guys have similar.
wow.
I tell people it was a gunshot. Makes me seem edgy.
Yeah, now that
Sometimes
I'm
I need an
married,
edge.
I don't even have stories. I'm just I don't even.
You're like, cancer,
But
I'm a
yeah.
survivor. What's good? Let's talk about Bitcoin.
But yeah, I'm glad you get checked, Lizzie.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty upset about it.
It sucks, but hey, we wear our sunscreen.
Yeah. Do you get rashes a lot? Are you a rashy guy?
No
No?
rashes.
Damn.
But yeah,
Lizzie's just trying to find somebody to bond with about over her rash too.
I mean, I've got Morgan for rashes.
yeah.
Okay.
Morgan- You know,
Thank
one
you
other-
very much.
I'm like, I got some sort of like red thing going on.
Well, see,
I noticed this week. So I like shaved, like I had a big coronavirus beard going on.
Oh,
And
no.
when I shaved it off, I just kept like a handlebar mustache
Oh,
just to mess
God.
with my wife. I'm
Yeah.
like, handlebar till 100K. It's a thing on Twitter. Like, wait
Till
until
Bitcoin
Bitcoin to
hits
move to
100K.
100K. You know, laser eyes and handlebar till 100K. And
a
my
fucking
wife is
nightmare.
like, fuck you, shave that. And I'm like, no. But I look so nasty because I got blonde, hair. So it's
Yeah,
like-
so
but
it's just-
Ryan's got the black
Oh, yeah.
stash
We were
going.
actually at my house. I forgot to tell you this. We were talking about how good your hair is.
Really, my
yeah.
hair.
Yeah. Well, all your hair. Like, James is super jealous of your whole body hair situation.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's like, well, that Ryland can grow a beard, and Shane can grow a beard too. Like, James was in a deep spiral.
Well, I
about
can
the
grow
fact
a
that he can't
beard,
grow a
but
beard.
the hairline is
Yeah.
like where we're.
Oh, she's
struggling
coming
there.
back. She's getting snatched. You fucking jumped in right on time with those pills, and you're
know.
looking good.
I'm gonna have to
I
take
was-
some of those from
Yeah, everyone's.
I want to
confused.
take some, but I don't have a fucking prostate.
Oh, yeah.
Super upsetting
Yeah, the
about
pill.
that.
Okay, that's coming in a vlog soon. I did go to a hair doctor, and Lizzie's. I don't think a lot of people know what the pills are or that they're for the prostate.
Right.
But we thank you very much.
Love you very much.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, you guys, that is all we have for today's episode. I know it was a little chaotic and different.
I think it was chaotic in the best way. And I would like to circle back really quickly and say, I'm so sorry for attacking you about Olivia Rodrigo. I think your opinion, was articulate, spot on, and I appreciate you sharing it.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your support and watching our show. We'll be back next Wednesday. If you want to follow us on social media, we're at the SIP. I glitched. We're at the SIP official, and we're also on there personally. That's it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
And that's the SIP.